Liverpool, they go to Crystal Palace, and Oliver Glasner has shared his thoughts on the chance to equal the club's unbeaten record. Let's listen.
I don't care about it. Last year we had the worst start in the history Premier League, in Crystal Palace history, and we had at the end we had a point record. So I don't care about records. Of course, it's always better having positive records than the other way. But of course, but I told the players it's not for us. The approach is not to stay unbeaten. The approach is to win the game.
And yet they are unbeaten for 17 games and could set a new club record in all competitions if they went 18 unbeaten. This run, as our stats guy was just telling me now, Ed, he was saying that, Stan, he was saying that it's 17 games unbeaten. The next best, the next best is Barcelona. Guess how many games? 7.
Wow.
This is impressive. Of Europe's top 5 leagues, this is impressive. Oliver Glasner doesn't sound too chuffed about it, but he could, put his name into the history books. And so could Crystal Palace. It's amazing.
They could do, and they've defied the odds on so many occasions, Crystal Palace, particularly against the big clubs as well. They were winners in the Community Shield, as we all know. They were winners of the FA Cup last season. They gave a lot of hope to some of the mid-ranking teams who think that maybe some of the bigger teams have got all the money, all the resources, but he makes the sum of the parts work. Did it at Frankfurt, doing it at Palace now, and I think some of the players at his football club are so underrated, not least Mateta up front. Mikel Arteta, we've just been talking about him.
It's all kicking off here to everyone's names. It's OK, welcome to the club.
But, I think this game is a fascinating game. The two remaining unbeaten teams in the Premier League are going up against each other. Palace, organised, efficient, power up front, defensive solidity and organisation at the back, protection for that back four as well in midfield. But Liverpool still not having found their stride just yet. They always find a way to win regardless of what happens because they dominate the ball. They've got creativity in that forward line. They're probably around about 50-60% of where they want to be. We haven't seen the best Liverpool yet, but I think that winning run that they've established and the motivation now to really put together the kind of run we saw last season from Liverpool and to put Arsenal out of it, put the pressure onto them, I think that will power them going into this match.
Yeah, absolutely scary thought that they aren't yet at their absolute best, Liverpool, and yet won 5 from 5. If the Premier League table, which Liverpool currently lead, if the Premier League table was made up of games only from January, since the start of 2025, as it says at the top there, Crystal Palace are 4th.
Wow.
That is really, really impressive, wouldn't you say?
That's incredible. And I think just before they went on this run, they had at the start of last season, they had a very rocky beginning.
1 win in 5 months in the Premier League.
And I think it's almost just a huge testament to the football club to just put a bit of trust and calmness in allowing the process to run its course and let Glasner get his system, get the players to understand it, get the players he needs in certain positions. I think defensively, they're excellent. They're a great example of in and around in their own final third, defensively, in and around the penalty box. The 3 centre-backs are almost always, they're so narrow.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to create chances against them in that central area. And they've, I think, thrived off the fact that now a number of the top teams really don't like playing up against them. And I feel like they've grown into that. And then they have the excitement up front. Mateta went on a run last season and was just, love his celebration. He brings that little bit of excitement and energy that then I think also then lifts the fans to that next level. And it's exceptional how well he's done.
A player that really has come to life under Oliver Glasner. Let's look at Glasner's record and just put into context for you how well he has done at Crystal Palace since coming in. They have the joint, as you mentioned, joint best defensive record in the Premier League currently, alongside Arsenal, having conceded just twice so far this season, 3 clean sheets in 5 Premier League games. And there are a whole host of stats in all competitions, played 70 and won 32, losing only 15 with a win ratio of 45.7%. Honours 1, Community Shield. Of course, they beat Liverpool. And that sets up a second meeting between the two sides already this season. Quick thoughts on Glasner's record so far at Palace, and then the fact that they have this little bit of recent history with Liverpool.
Well, the Palace record is outstanding. as Rachel was saying, considering the start to the season. But the reason why they kept faith with him is because they knew what they had. They knew what he'd done at Frankfurt, and they knew that he was bringing that to Selhurst Park. In terms of the spice with Liverpool, it's interesting because they've got the psychological edge, if you like, of having beaten Liverpool and not being afraid of them in doing so. Liverpool will point to their record. I think it's 10 wins in a row in the Premier League at Selhurst Park against Crystal Palace. And again, as I say, they're not yet at where they want to, but they're not at their best. Isak is still nursing his way into the side. He'll have to start now because Ekitike can't play, and that's going to be fascinating. Will he want the physical game that this could become at Selhurst Park?
Yeah, just to give you those exact numbers, 10 unbeaten at Palace, 9 wins and 1 draw. So it's been all Liverpool. Palace have won only 1 of 14 against Liverpool in the Premier League. So the numbers tell a very different story. The stats, the history tell a different story. But Palace right now are a tricky team. Liverpool have discovered that themselves. Let's talk about the Reds, though. And Darren said they're not even at 100% yet.
You think they're
scary.
only at 50%?
Yeah.
Right.
What do you think?
Well, I think everyone is trying to find their rhythm. I think everyone will improve at an incremental amount as the weeks come in. I think one of the best things about this period for Liverpool is they have found a way to win all these games. I think there's been moments where you've thought, potentially the points have been at jeopardy, but I just feel what that creates psychologically for a team is so powerful. I actually think Liverpool would be better off by only operating at 50-60%, let's call it. Because what they're gaining is this ability to score late in games, to know that they've find a way to battle through the tough moments, to ride their luck when they need to. That momentum is very special. You can only gain that by experiencing it. They've probably done it better than anyone so far this season, which is just another string to their bow that they probably don't necessarily need, but they'll take it.
I only say it because Wirtz is nowhere near as good as he was in Germany. Isak is still nursing his way into the side. Yeah. Salah hasn't been that great, even though he scored important goals so far this season. Gravenberch has probably been their best player, and Van Dijk has done all right, but not as well as he could have done. Their best matches were probably the last couple, particularly the Arsenal game where they were very, very defensively strong. But I still think that there is quite a way to go before they get to where they want to be.
Yeah, going to be a fascinating one. That can't wait to hear. Crystal Palace, Liverpool.
Liverpool got a great record at Palace. I'm going to go with them to continue the run. Liverpool 2-1.
I think 2-0 Liverpool.
Enjoy the football, everybody. Thanks, Darren. Thanks, Rachel. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.